What's up, everyone? Sergeant Arterbright here, and today we are reacting to the second episode, which talks about Napoleonic Infantry Tactics. I was actually going to be planning to skip this one because there's a lot of episodes, but y'all really seem to like my first episode, and there was some of you who suggested that, yeah, I probably should react to everything. So I guess that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, Napoleonic Infantry Tactics should be quite interesting.
In the Napoleonic Wars, infantry fought in close order, packed together, standing shoulder to shoulder. But why present such an easy target for the enemy? First, command and control. Before radios, orders had to be relayed by shouted commands, drums, or bugles. Difficult enough in the smoke and din of battle, almost impossible if troops were scattered.
Oh wow.
Second, firepower. Smoothbore muskets were inaccurate beyond about 80 yards, so volley fire, firing en masse, was the best way to inflict physical and psychological damage on the enemy. Third, morale. Soldiers were much more willing to advance into danger or hold the line if they did so together as a unit, urging each other on. Fourth, defense against cavalry. Scattered infantry were easy targets for horsemen. Only by sticking together could they fight them off. The basic tactical unit of infantry was the battalion. A French line battalion had, in theory, 840 men, but in practice, nearer 500 to 600. Our example here has 605 men, a typical strength for a battalion on campaign. The men were divided into 6 companies, 4 fusilier companies, and 2 flank companies. On the right, the grenadiers, made up of the tallest, strongest men, often detached to form elite all-grenadier units. And on the left, the voltigeurs, specialist light infantry, used for skirmishing in front of the battalion. Skirmishers moved independently, used cover, and fired at will to harass and unsettle the enemy, while preventing enemy skirmishers carrying out the same task. Most armies also had specialist light infantry units for this role, such as the British 95th Rifles, French Chasseurs à Pied, and Austrian and Prussian Jaeger battalions. The traditional battlefield formation was the line, all companies formed up alongside each other, 3 ranks deep. Line formation maximized the number of men who could fire their muskets at the enemy, and limited casualties from artillery fire. But it was extremely vulnerable to cavalry if it could be outflanked.
And I'm assuming that's why they have flank battalions or companies.
Even for well-drilled troops, it was difficult to keep the line straight while advancing across broken ground. So, for maneuver and attack, battalions usually formed a column of divisions. This was a more flexible formation that allowed the battalion to advance quickly, though it presented a larger target to enemy guns, firing solid round shot that would tear through several ranks, and far fewer men could fire their muskets at the enemy. Theoretically, therefore, the battalion would deploy into line before reaching the enemy. But carrying out this slow maneuver under fire wasn't always possible or sensible. So some commanders kept their men in column, relying on momentum to break the enemy line. This was a risky tactic that often worked against raw troops, and led to high casualties when facing better trained infantry.
Yeah, that seems really dangerous. Oh my gosh.
Like British redcoats.
Look at that.
A column could be closed up quickly to provide protection from cavalry, or if there was time, could form a square. With bayonets fixed, the battalion formed an all-round defense. It often resembled more of a rectangle.
That is actually really interesting. The French, I guess, they had like a really high focus on flexibility.
Enemy cavalry could surround the battalion, but not break in, as horses won't charge a solid wall of men and steel. But an infantry square was extremely vulnerable to artillery fire.
Oh, yeah.
And could only move very slowly. Changing quickly and smoothly from one formation to another, especially under fire, required training, practice, and experience. In 1809, the Austrian army began to use the battalion in mass formation, crude but more suited to hastily trained conscripts. This was a dense column with limited firepower and huge vulnerability to enemy cannon.
Yeah.
But it could quickly close up to repel cavalry, using the same principle as the square, but without the complex drill. It was much more maneuverable.
That was it? I thought they would have talked a little bit more. I didn't really get to react that much. But I will add something. One of the reasons why the French were so successful is because they had a tactic called defeat in detail. And essentially, like, let's just pretend the French are outnumbered. 100,000 Italians, 50,000 French. They each have like 5 divisions or something, and the Italians, what they'll do, they'll split them evenly, right? So each one will have like, I don't know, 20,000. But what Napoleon would do, essentially, he'll group like the bulk of his forces and attack each like group of troops at a time, very, very quickly, and he could defeat them with like not that many casualties, and he would usually win. And that's why he was so successful in the Italian campaign and in Austria. And I think that's something that Erwin Rommel did in Africa in World War II. So yeah, it's very interesting. But yeah, that was the episode. Wasn't that long, but that's okay. The next episode, oh, that one's gonna be a continuation. After, oh wow, it skips like 12 years, jeez. Hello everyone, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to my channel. And turn on the notification bell thingy. And if you didn't, then make sure to leave a thumbs down. Oh yeah, that would be greatly appreciated. And while you're at it, go ahead and watch my other videos. They're probably just as good, then if not better than this one right now. Except for my oldest videos, don't watch those. And, subscribe to these people down here, my fellow sergeants. They're other YouTubers that I either know or I have in high regards. Yeah, even my cat agrees. So, thank you for watching, and have a great day.